Hi, and welcome to another episode of Making Time with me, Candi Meridith. Okay, what many of you may not know is that I have high blood pressure. And one of the things that I love is fried chicken. Now, it's not impossible to have fried chicken while having high blood pressure. The only thing is that for me, I'm working really hard to manage everything going on in my life to reduce my risk of stroke, my risk of heart disease, my risk of kidney failure, my risk of all of those things associated with having high blood pressure. These aren't the symptoms of high blood pressure. These are simply the things that happen as a result of you having high blood pressure. And part of me managing my life is managing the food that I eat. And so what I like to do is I like to have less and less fried foods. Now, I haven't made a total cut of fried foods. The reality is I like French fries, I like a good fried burger, I love a good steak, I like fried shrimp, and I am from New Orleans, so I love fried chicken. The thing is that you just need to manage what you're eating and how you're eating it. So on today's episode, and since March is National Nutrition Month, we are doing fried chicken a different kind of way. We're doing unfried fried chicken right here today on this show. Now, I've never done this, so you and I are in this thing together. If it works, fabulous. If it doesn't, we'll have to go it again. But let's hope it works, okay? Let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Now, I'm going to go over everything we have here at the table and what we're going to need to get ready. So, we have 3/4 cups of lactose-free, fat-free milk. That's what I'm using. You can use whatever works best for you. If you prefer whole milk, 2%, or even buttermilk, you can use that. But I'm lactose intolerant and I'm cutting out a lot of fat in my life. So, lactose-free, fat-free milk is what I have, 3/4 cups of that. I also have 5 drumsticks or chicken legs. I like saying chicken legs, but some of y'all are kind of fancy. Y'all like drumsticks. I like saying chicken legs, so 5 chicken legs. I also have 1 cup of plain breadcrumbs. And here we have our seasonings. We have in here 1 tablespoon of fresh ground pepper, black pepper, that is. We also have 1.5 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, because let's face it, paprika and all this other stuff, really, no match for cayenne pepper. I also have, you don't have to put this in here, but I also have a 1/2 tablespoon of salt. I like a little bit of salt on my chicken. Now, I am managing my salt intake while managing my blood pressure and managing my whole life. I mean, let's face it. So, it really can cause a whole multitude of issues. So, I like to keep things at a minimum. And this is probably as much salt as I'm going to include or have on my food all day today, because typically I cook without salt for myself. So we only have a 1/2 tablespoon of salt in here right now. And I have all of that mixed together and ready to go. You're also going to need a baking rack, which is what your chicken is going to sit on. And we have here a foil-lined baking sheet. Now, baking sheet, of course, is the thing that you put your cookies on when you're making cookies. So we have all of that. It's all sitting right there, and I like to keep a nice little paper towel handy. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to spray our baking rack. We're going to coat it with some non-stick cooking spray. And I'm not showing you the brand because, let's face it, they're not paying me to advertise for them. So we're gonna spray some non-stick cooking spray right there on the baking rack, and we're gonna leave it inside of the baking tray until we're ready. Okay? Now let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add about 2 teaspoons of our seasoning mix to our breadcrumbs. It's about 2 teaspoons. So we're going to put that in there. And the rest, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add to our milk. Then, once we have mixed all this up, an opportunity to just mix all this up, make sure that's good in there. We're going to mix everything up here. Make sure we have it nice and evened out, because what this is going to do is this is going to add some seasoning to the exterior part of your chicken, the skin of the chicken. Okay, we'll put that there. I'm going to put this over here, and now we're going to get ready. I'm actually, you know, for those of you who watch the other episodes, I'm a jewelry girl. I usually have on a good bit, but today I'm not wearing any, so I can get down and dirty with this chicken. So here we go. We're going to simply roll our chicken leg in here. Get it nice and coated in our milk mixture. Excuse me. We're going to coat it nice and well in our milk mixture. Why can't I say that? Why can't I say that? Milk mixture. There you go. All right. Splashing myself here. And then we're going to roll it around inside our breadcrumbs. We want to make sure we get breadcrumbs all over it. If you feel like you need to, just put your hands in there and spread the breadcrumbs right over that. Okay? Once you feel like your chicken is coated, go ahead and sit it on the rack and then move on to the next piece. Okay, so we're down to our last chicken leg. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in our milk mixture. Yay, I said it. And we're going to get it breaded and on the baking rack. All right. Let's get this little guy breaded up and ready to go. I don't like a lot of waste, you know. So the recipe that I use originally called for about 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs. And I just really feel like that would be a waste. So I gauged how many pieces of chicken I was using and really looked at what 1.5 cups would look like and would be. And I decided that's at least 1/2 cup too much. Okay? So you really don't need to follow. Some of these recipes are so extreme. They want you to use 1 cup of milk. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I could have some cereal with that later. There is no way I'm using an entire cup of milk. Not for 5 chicken legs. Look at all of this we have left here. Absolutely not. Didn't need that much. 3/4 cup is more than enough for the milk. Uh-oh, I missed the spot. Talking to y'all and I missed the spot. Talking to y'all. All right. Here we go. Now we have all of our chicken spread out here on our baking rack. I'm going to go ahead and move this over here to the front. Okay, here we are. Our chicken is finished. And what we're going to do before we pop it in the oven is we're going to lightly coat it with some non-stick cooking spray. Okay, what that's going to do is that's going to allow it to fry while it's in the oven. And your oven, I don't believe I mentioned this earlier, please forgive, your oven should be preheated at 425 already. We're going to leave the chicken in the oven for 20 minutes on this side. When 20 minutes are up, we're going to go ahead, turn the chicken over. We're then going to lightly coat with cooking spray the other side of the chicken and leave it in there for another 20 minutes. After that, once the buzzer hits for that last 20 minutes is, over, we're going to pierce the chicken with a fork. If the juices do not run clear, then we need to leave the chicken in there a little bit longer. We don't want any red and we don't want any pink. Okay? We want our juices to run clear, 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 or else our chicken isn't done. Alrighty? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pop this in the oven, and I'll see you back here in about 20 minutes. Cheers! Okay, here we are. Our timer has gone off for the first 20 minutes. And so what we're going to do is we're going to turn this chicken over, and then we're going to lightly spray it with some non-stick cooking spray on the other side. Okay, now we're going to slide it back in for another 20 minutes. So I'll see you back here when that final timer goes off. Okay, so you may not be able to see me because the highlight here is this gorgeous chicken. Look how beautiful this chicken is. It is nice and golden brown. And in addition to that, I believe it is done. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to pork it with a fork here, right down to the joint, the bone of that chicken. And we're going to see what color the juices are when they run out. They're going to run clear if our chicken is done. They're going to run red or pink if it is not. And we have clear juice, which means our chicken is done. So what I'm going to do now is take it out. We're going to let it cool, and then you and I are going to enjoy a piece. Here we are in our final segment, and we have in front of me some delicious looking chicken. Look how golden brown that is. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I'm very excited. This is delicious looking. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take me a nice big drumstick, and I'm going to dig right in. So let's see. Ooh. That was still a little hot. Wow. That's good. That is very good. Wow, let's see how this crust is though, because that's always important. The skin, crunchy, crispy. We like that. We like that a lot. I like it a lot. And so yay for me! Fried chicken in the oven. Wow. Our first unfried fried chicken recipe is a hit. It's a success. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the recipe online for you so that you and your family can have a big success tonight too. Now, the only thing that I would change, the only thing I think that would make this dinner 100% successful. Right now we're at 90% success. 100% successful would be a baking rack that has a little bit more height to it. The baking rack that we're using has about a ½ inch lift off of the baking sheet. And you really need something that's about closer to 3/4 of an inch or an inch off the baking sheet. I'm talking something that's really sitting up there to keep the chicken from getting soggy on the bottom. That's really the only thing that I see wrong here, is that 1 or 2 pieces, the bigger pieces, are a little bit soggy on the bottom. The skinnier piece, not so much, but the bigger pieces are a little bit soggy on the bottom. So to avoid that problem, see if you can find a baking rack that has a little bit more lift to it. Other than that, you're going to be good to go for a healthier fried chicken dinner tonight. Well, thanks for watching. Cheers to your health and to mine. And yay, we made unfried fried chicken. I'm super excited about that, and I hope you are too. Have a great day, and thanks for watching Making Time with me, Candi Meridith.